One of the biggest challenges that people face after a breakup is dealing with guilt. Guilt for all of the mistakes that they have made during the relationship that led to this point. My name is Coach Adrian, and I'm here to help you process and deal with that guilt so that you can unburden yourself and finally advance in your process of breakup recovery. Clients all over the world who reach out to me are good people who happen to have made mistakes. And this process of breaking up with someone that you love oftentimes humbles you. And people are able to really bring themselves to account, to really reflect on what happened in the relationship. How could things have gone so bad with someone that you love so much? And often this process of reflection brings about powerful insights, realizations about some of your shortcomings, some of the quality traits and attributes that you need to develop in order to be the best potential partner that you can be, the best potential parent, the best potential family member. And with that realization comes a lot of guilt. And you feel like the weight of the world is on your shoulders and that it's all your fault. That if only you had been a little bit more caring or compassionate, if you had listened to your ex's complaints, if you had gone to couples therapy, or if you had done certain little things in your day-to-day, that it could have somehow prevented this person from completely falling out of love with you. Although some of it is true, the reality is that it takes two to tango, that we are human beings, we are imperfect, and that everyone makes mistakes. No relationship is perfect. No matter how much you work on yourself, even if you're indeed able to rebuild this relationship with the person that you love, you are not immune to making more mistakes in the future. In some ways, it is inevitable because relationships are complex, and it's precisely those mistakes that enable us to continue to grow as an individual and as a couple. And so this may be one of the most important videos that you will see if you're aspiring to rebuild a relationship with someone that you love and lost. Because if you're in a state of guilt, if you are really feeling down on yourself, how are you going to be able to really take this challenge on? How are you going to be able to really be that best version of yourself if you're just constantly burdened by guilt? It is hard. After a breakup, you are in a vulnerable mindset, and that's precisely one of the reasons why you feel so guilty. But it doesn't have to be that way. A breakup can actually be an empowering experience if you do the work of introspection and self-reflection and you realize where mistakes happened and where your shortcomings occurred. Then you can quickly pivot to working on those shortcomings, to creating new habits in your day-to-day to help you make sure that you won't make those mistakes again. And by doing so, you are now turning crisis into opportunity. Opportunity to grow, opportunity to better yourself. And really, in that process, you're becoming the partner that your significant other always wanted you to be. And by doing that, you're, in essence, going to give them a lot to think about. You will put some pressure on them to really rethink their decision, to really rethink their assumption that you cannot change, that those mistakes, that those negative actions are actually a part of who you are, not just perhaps a learned behavior or something that can be corrected over time. What I see working with good people like you all over the world is that when you are motivated to change, you're capable of doing great things. You're really capable of pushing yourself and to develop those new habits and those new qualities that will ensure that you will become a better listener, that you will have self-respect, that you're not going to put your partner down because of certain insecurities that you're carrying from previous relationships or from your childhood. But a lot of times, it takes a certain willingness and a certain disposition to want to change. And it also takes someone that has a little bit of experience or that has guided others through breakup to point certain things out to you and to help think together what sort of actions you can take in order to continue to grow and to learn. But you're not going to reach your goal if you're just guilty and feeling like everything is all your fault and constantly bringing yourself down. Of course, it's okay to grieve the relationship, and it's okay to be tough on yourself for some time because you expect better and you realize that you've hurt someone that you love. But you cannot just constantly live in this state of guilt, because it's going to really weigh you down and you're not going to be able to be that best version of yourself that can inspire your significant other to believe that they can be happy with you. Also, when you're in the state of guilt, you have a tendency of putting your significant other on a pedestal. It's all your fault. They're perfect. If only you hadn't made those mistakes, they wouldn't have felt a certain way. And when you put someone on a pedestal in that way out of your desire to be with them, they cannot see you as an equal. They cannot see you as someone that they can build a life with. They cannot see you as someone that inspires them because you're putting them on this pedestal. And although people want to be respected and treated right and cherished and loved, they don't want to be put on a pedestal because it's not inspiring and it doesn't build trust. So be kind to yourself, forgive yourself, and do so by consciously seeking to build new habits and to develop new qualities that will enable you to not make those same mistakes that you made, that you're very aware of at this point, I am sure, and that are forcing you to live in a state of regret and remorse. There's no place for that in this process. You have to be strong, and you need to have a little bit of a thick skin to be able to deal with the adversity that you're facing in a constructive way. Feeling guilty is one of the many mistakes that people make after a breakup. I've identified 10 common mistakes that most of my clients make. And I've created a secret video that's linked below that will enable you to have a sense as to what those mistakes are to make sure that you don't make them moving forward. I encourage you to click to check it out. It is free content, and it's really going to help you in a deep, meaningful way to avoid certain common pitfalls that many people make. Others have walked this path before you, and their experience can inform yours so that it doesn't have to be as hard. It doesn't have to take as long. And perhaps you don't have to put in as much work because you can be smarter and more efficient with your time. That's what this video is all about, and I really encourage you to check it out. My name is Coach Adrian. I am your relationship coach, here to walk hand in hand with you through the breakup recovery process and to help you rebuild the type of relationship that has a chance to be sustainable, that has a chance to bring about happiness with this person that you love most. If you've enjoyed this content, please like the video. Don't hesitate to leave a comment below, and we will see each other soon on Love Advice TV as we continue to fight the good fight together. Take good care and see you soon.